gets slowed up. Sundub cleanses it all. Nearly gets taken down. Heels just blows him up. Cobb taken.
Make the ground shake.
He's gonna take it down to half health. Underwear gets ulted by Lulu, but Soaz is on the back. Alrighty. This is NME versus Team Solo Mid Darkness, and well, by the looks of the standings, I can totally tell you that TSM Darkness is not the popular vote in this one. Though I do like the Fizz jungle. The only problem I have with it is the fact that you know, little to no CC, and if he can't get going, then he's never gonna get going. Meanwhile, Enemy has Hecarim, tanky top laner with a lot of damage. They have Rek'Sai, tanky jungler with a lot of damage. They have, and then late game hyper carry and Tristana and Janna to protect the Tristana. Meanwhile, I mean, both of these comps, they look really good. I just don't think Team Solo Mid Darkness is a strong enough team to be able to pull it off. Like, if it were any other two teams, I think the Kalista Annie would have a much better chance against this Janna Tristana. But, you know, I mean, just the past few weeks, the standings say it all. I mean, Team Solo Mid Darkness is 1-7, and Enemy is, I think they're on the complete opposite end of the spectrum at 7-1. Body drop. Playing that Janna. I mean, the bot lane could go. Actually, I'm not even going to say that. It's definitely in favor of this Enemy side, because even with that stun, I mean, you have the Janna shield, and then you have Janna knockup, and then Janna slow, and then Tristana E does the burst damage and whatnot. I mean, yeah, sure, Kalista has that rend damage, but it's not going to be the same, especially when Tristana starts getting those auto attacks off. This mid lane, I mean, I've seen this matchup so many times. It's gone either way every time, but I really think NOX is much better than Arc second, so I'm going to give that to NOX as well. Jungle Fizz is just something, I mean, it's a cool pick, but in my experience with it, not only watching, but also playing with it, 9 times out of 10, the Jungle Fizz is useless past 30 minutes. Whether it's because he can't even hit his fish, or because he just deals no damage and isn't tanky in the slightest. It's kind of a mix. But, you know, every time I see Jungle Fizz, it's like, oh, that's so cool. Let's hope they don't suck. And in this case, I mean, Team Solo Mid Darkness is the last place team in the NACS. And I can only say that this Jungle Fizz is an attempt at cheese that probably won't work. Because the thing is, with League of Legends cheese, it's hard. I mean, it's easy to basically play against it, because once you know the cheese is gonna, the cheese and the pick ban's like happening, it's like, oh, well, now we know what to do. Like picking Heimerdinger. That would be considered cheesy, but like once you think about it, it's like, well, we know how to play against a Heimerdinger. Just play against a Heimerdinger. Or like back when Prolly first pulled out Annie mid and Ziggs mid. Like this is way before Ziggs got popular. This was a Season 3 spring split. So when he first pulls out the Ziggs, it's like, oh man, nobody ever knew how to play against Ziggs. And oh crap, how do you play against Annie mid? It's kind of like, sure, that works to an extent using a surprise pick, but you know, against a team with enough experience, it's not going to be really much of anything. The oath has been taken by Indivisible as, you know, Taser kills a little girl. How does that make you feel? Anyway, the 2v2 lane is going to happen. It looks like double jungle is also happening, but Inori going to start on the red side of that jungle. Maokai is taking those raptors, probably because he thought he was going to go to a 2v2 lane, 2v1 lane. But Hecarim shows in the bot lane. They see, you know, oh, this is what's going to be going down. And, well, just from here, Taser is going to hit that level 2 a little bit sooner because Annie has as of yet to join the team. Big ol' Ron is already level 2, so he's going to have that advantage over Flares. Big ol' Ron is probably one of the only people I think that can win their lane, maybe? Not really, because Flares is dealing a decent amount of damage back onto Big ol' Ron. Plus they both have a really cool way to sustain. I mean, I always loved the Hecarim W. I forgot what it's called, but just the fact that it's an AoE sustain, I always thought was really cool. And the more damage dealt to champions by other people, the more you heal. It's like, oh man, let me just sit in the middle of all 5 people. Though Flares, despite, you know, farming relatively safely, he's taking a bit of damage from Big ol' Ron. He should be a little more careful there. Indivisible, gonna finally hit level 2. Body drop, taking a little bit of damage. Arc second, getting charmed up right there. And gonna get that minion. Misses one of them, but who cares? It's only a 1 caster minion. Someone goes really low. That was Trashy in the jungle. To the Gromp. That's one thing that always bugged me. How much damage Gromp does. Taser gonna get a lot of damage down on the body drop, and Otter's gonna have to jump away. The 2-man knockup, the flash from Janna to avoid the stun. But here comes Inori, in onto Flares. Gonna get the red buff down. Flares not worried about going down right here. Well, he doesn't have any escapes, so he has to walk away like that. That body drop with that flash earlier was very, like, not unwarranted, that's not the word. It's very... I'm having a brain fart, I completely forget the word I was going to use. But it's like not cowardly, but it's like looking ahead too far. I forget the phrase. Either way, body drop flashed when he really didn't need to. I mean, he shouldn't be that afraid of Indivisible, especially when he got that 2-man knockup. Plus, because of that Otter bomb, they were pretty low. I think like both of them were at about 250 health. So it wasn't really anything they should have been worried about. I mean, like right there, Otter. Or maybe it's because they thought a gank was coming up. That's probably the reason why. But right now, you have Trashy invading in the red side of that jungle. A lot of damage going back and forth across every single part of the map. But NME already out to a quick 300 gold lead purely from farm alone, and that's completely on Flares it seems. He is up about 10 farm right now. Oh, and it's probably on Rex side too with that 4. I mean, you can never really tell how much gold the minion in the jungles are going to give you. It looks like, however, Inori soloing the dragon. That's going to be a really big buff for them. And that'll definitely help them in the future when setting up for the next dragon, because now, well, I mean, both teams have the timer. That's another thing that really bugs me about the dragon this season. The animation and the fact that you can see how many buffs are on all of the people. It's like, well, that completely negates the need for a dragon timer, because everyone, I mean, you should see when the dragon buff hits the enemy, so what's the point in having it? Otter gonna get stunned up there. Callista knocked up. Body drop taking a bit of damage right there. They're still running, though I thought they would have been able to turn it. They have a pink ward really deep in that jungle. Right up here by that bush I was talking about in the last game. The one right in front of red buff. They're not going to be able to spot out Fizz walking into the jungle. Big ol' Ron and Flares both hit level 6. You can only imagine how that noodle fest will go down. And right now, they are dealing a decent amount of damage to each other, but you know, they just keep healing it back up, so it's not like it matters. Big ol' Ron is going to go back. He's probably going to use his teleport to come back to the lane. And, I mean, Dragon doesn't spawn for like another 5 minutes, so he's safe in using that teleport. Enemy trying to push that bot lane as hard as they can to try to deny Callista some farm under the turret. Probably get a little bit of damage down on their own. Inori going for that, I think it's the Ravager. I constantly forget the names of the new items because I'm not a jungle main. Either way, it's the infinitely stacking attack speed one. That's an item I like to see on the jungle Fizz because, you know, his auto attacks deal the extra magic damage. Otter gonna take a decent amount of damage right there. Knock up onto Indivisible. Otter takes a lot of damage from Callista. That's just really good trading on the side of Team Solar Bit Darkness, but still right now, they're 500 gold down, and that's from farm alone. Just across the map, really. Like 10 against these top laners, 10 against the jungler, 5 against the bot lane, which is kind of negated out by the fact that Ahri is losing the farm. Ahri going for that Abyssal Scepter first, it seems. That's a really good item. I like it. Otter jumping away to make sure he doesn't get stunned up and dies. Player's taking a turret shot right there in that bot lane. Big ol' Ron gonna knock him back into the turret. Dealing a lot of damage, but he uses his sapling to clear the minions instead of try to slow flares. A really good trade. It looks like Trashy is here though, so flares might be trying to set up a gank. Oh, there goes Trashy. He's gonna get the smite down onto Big ol' Ron for the slow, and Big ol' Ron is just gonna flash away. He didn't really need to flash right there, but you know, either way, it was a good idea to just keep himself alive. Taser, it seems, is solo farming while Annie is warding up the river. I'm gonna come back in. It looks like Fizz is trying to make a move onto this top side, but Trashy is also there. So this might be a gank for the ages. Oh no, he was just getting the scuttle grab. Never mind. And Inori will just go back into the jungle. Yep, no action coming out from that Fizz just yet, aside from that level 2 gank in the bot lane. Then again, same thing with Trashy, not really making much of anything except for that one gank in the bot lane. That's one thing I don't really appreciate about higher level play. It always seems like they're just not ganking enough. Like, I watch LCS games, and if they don't gank like twice, then they just don't gank at all. That's something that kind of bugs me. I mean, like, when they play Nidalee, they always try to get something done across the map because they're so fast and they're farming everywhere. And that's kind of why Nidalee is pick ban right now in the LCS. But then I see, like, right here, Fizz is being out farmed by 10, and it's not like he's trying to gank anywhere. He doesn't really have an excuse to be behind farm. Except for the fact that his clear is just a bit slower. It looks like, though, he will try to sneak down into this bot lane, but he is spotted out sneaking into the bush. Hecarim backs off, and Fizz is like, he knows I'm here. Trashy gonna try to do something in that top lane, but Otter is gonna get stunned up. Indivisible goes back in for the knockup to save his teams. Flares is gonna get ganked in this bot lane, gonna get knocked up, slowed up, and under the turret he will get killed. First blood to TSM Darkness, but the tower will go to NME. And again, it's probably also going to be a tower trade. It really sucks that there was not a kill on the top lane for NME, but I mean, what can you do? It was a really good gank. Indivisible. Oh, they're going back in, and that is going to be a double kill. Really easy stuff for Otter right there. Trashy almost goes down, but you know, Team Solar Mid Darkness just a little ambitious right there and trying to push out the wave. They didn't have any vision of that area of the jungle. That was not wise of them to be so far out. But TSM Darkness is going to get their second dragon of the game, and it is only 11, 12 minutes in. Rek'Sai is trying to come down, but it's going to get smote away just in time for Rek'Sai to place a ward. Really good from TSM Darkness to keep up in those dragons. That is really going to put NME in a hole. But they can't get caught out like that again. In the top lane, I mean. Inori, gonna go back now. He is out of mana. And it looks like Body Drop is trying to make it so he doesn't go back immediately. Hecarim is pushing that bottom lane. Tristana is there as well. They might want to go for another turret trade. Well, not so much a trade because it's only them pushing the tower, and it looks like that will be just a free tower for enemy. A really slow map rotation from Team Solo Mid Darkness, and they lose a tower for it. Good job from enemy to stay on top of it though. But TSM Darkness will rotate towards that mid lane, which only had the Ahri there, so another turret trade it seems. Arc second. No, they are going to back off of this tower because here comes the Hecarim with the home guard. It's going to go in onto Indivisible, but he's going to get ulted away. Knocks up flares, stunned up. Taser is way too low right now. Indivisible is also really low, but Body Drop is going to go down. Here's Otter jumping into the fight. Inori jumps away. There's the flares ultimate, and that is not going to be enough to continue the fight. A 1-for-1 trade. But hey, I would trade support for ADC any day of the week. Going to deal a lot of damage to that mid tower, and the fight is just about over. Indivisible so close to dying in the middle of that fight. Inori and LeBlanc jumping out at the right time, just as Otter jumps in. A really good fight on both of these sides. TSM Darkness is making this a much closer game than I thought they would. Right now, Hecarim returns to that top lane. His Ignite and his Teleport and his Ultimate are all down. And Body Drop and Otter just found out that they are sitting on top of the ward, while Taser and Indivisible also fumfer around on top of the ward. It's all about the vision game here. Give Inox the extra AD he needs to take those minions with the shield. And everything is going to slow down for now. So far, really clean game for enemy. Well, not clean so much as just really good so far. You know what I mean. Shut up. Stop making fun of me. Why are you so mean to me? But Taser going to return to this bot lane. Going to try to push that out. But, you know, Otter is already there to take the minions. And that's going to be a really delicious wave for enemy. Body Drop trying to get something down onto Arc Second, but gets a slow, nothing more. Arc Second's going to be able to clear out that wave. And it looks like Flares is just going to return to that top lane to make sure Big Ol' Ron does not take that turret. Likewise, Big Ol' Ron is moving down to try to... Excuse me. Try to cut off that Hecarim. But it looks like enemy is just going to rotate towards this mid lane and take the turret. No, why aren't you auto-attacking it, Inox? Sure, Annie has stun, but it's only Annie. Come on, don't be a wimp. Big Ol' Ron going to get the double knock up here. Uses the Righteous Glory, taken down to half health. Indivisible backing off with his team. And that is going to be a turret for enemy. 3-1 in the turret game, 2k gold lead. Looking good for enemy right now. Team Solo Mid Darkness, they are still up 2 dragons though, with the third one on the way to spawn. If they can get that third dragon at this 20-minute mark, that's going to be really big for them because they're going to have the move speed, they're going to have the pushing power. They're going to have a lot going for them as far as additional buffs go. But what they need to do is, you know, win some fights, get some money back into their pockets, take a few turrets, and make this game even. And right now, it's not so incredibly lopsided that it's like, oh, enemy has no chance of winning. Or, I mixed up the team names. But you know what I mean. But right now, Dragon is spawning in a minute, and Scuttle Crab has already been taken by the TSM Darkness side. It looks like a viable option right now for enemy would be to either A, fight the Dragon because they are slightly stronger, but the team fight for TSM Darkness is slightly scarier. Or they can just, you know, rotate towards another lane and be happy with that. Taking a turret. Flares is still building up to that Trinity Force. He knows that the TSM Darkness team is nowhere near him. Body drop gonna take a little bit of damage. Indivisible not gonna get hit by that REQ. NOCS relatively low on mana, but he does have the blue buff. Here comes a teleport from big ol' Ron, and that is way ahead of Flares right now. Flares does not have his own teleport. He will stay in that top lane to push out that wave. He will have teleport within 20 seconds, but I'm not sure if it's going to be in time for this dragon. Trashy getting stunned up, will flash over the wall, but body drop is caught out now, has to flash away. There comes the tree, flashing forward. Body drop trying to knock people back, but that is no hope. He is going to go down. Inori taken relatively low. Inox coming in, trying to get something down. Otter flashes away. Big ol' Ron with the knockback onto a few of them. Otter gets blown to pieces. He goes down. And Trashy has to run away now. Hecarim is teleporting into the fight. Here he comes! Killing Inori. Almost gets indivisible. The 4-man knockup! Oh my god, Inox doing so much damage to everybody. And now it's just the runaway game. Can Flares outrun Arc Second, catch up to him? He will start landing the Q. Big ol' Ron just too low. Too far away. Huge fight going both ways. Oh my god, really good on both sides. But NME won the backside of that fight, and that leads to the dragon. Sure, Arc Second is going to stick around to try to get something. A steal, perhaps. And NME is taking this dragon really slowly, but here comes the Rek'Sai, going to smite away that dragon. Or not. But it will be secured by Trashy. Burst Dragon going over to NME, and just wow. 3k gold lead. Flares coming in to turn around a 3v5. Ults immediately makes it a 3v3. Like, it doesn't get any better than that. Now that it is slowing back down again, we can take a little stock. What's going on? Check out that vision game. You know, TSM Darkness has a bunch of wards in their own jungle. Not so much in the enemy jungle. Ha! Enemy jungle. Because they're the enemies, and their team name is enemy. Alright, I'm gonna shut up now. Meanwhile, body drop, gonna get caught out here. Surely gonna die. Inori with a free kill, and Otter hop, skipping, and jumping away so he doesn't get killed under turret. Taser, however, might be in a little bit of trouble here. Here comes Flares. Flares is going to just cue the minion line, and the turret will be saved. Flares is getting pretty scary right now. He has the Trinity Force completed. Trashy going in onto Inori, smites him, and can't follow up on it because Inori just hops away. You know, for the first few weeks when Rek'Sai came out, I thought the long range Q slowed, and I'm like, holy crap, that's amazing. But, oh, Flare's gonna dodge out that indivisible stun. Really good from him. And it looks like, once again, just gonna slow down. Trashy having his ward cleared out. That pick ward in that Raptor bush, always useful. And Flares looks like he's trying to get something into Inori. Uses the ultimate. A really ambitious play right there for Inori, but you know, he's just gonna hop away. He is Fizz after all, and that is something you should account for. Flares is doing really well in this minion game. He is about 20 up on the big ol' Ron. Indivisible finally gonna spot out that pick ward, the one that's been there for about 15 minutes now. And that is the one that is checked least likely. And, well, top lane turret goes down. Otter just kind of lets it fall to the minions. Better to let it fall to minions than let it fall to an actual person, because that gives a little more money. But, you know, it's still map pressure that's going to go over towards TSM Darkness. They already have one ward in the blue side of the enemy jungle, but, I mean, that's not really enough considering all of the wards in the enemy river. It looks like, yeah, I did see right. Callista used her blue trinket on the banana bush by the Baron pit, and, you know, because it's the upgraded blue trinket, it actually placed a ward in that bush, which I think is a really awesome addition to that blue trinket to make it even more useful. And right now, Taser getting a decent amount of damage down onto body drop. Not going to get knocked up there, dodges it out. A lot of attack speed coming out for that Callista. Looks like Indivisible and Inori are going to try to go for that gank. Big ol' Ron is caught out a little bit in that river bush, but he's just going to walk away. They have Flares pushing the bot lane as hard as he can. He is Hacker him. He will be able to deal a lot of damage to that turret with the Sheen and the Trinity Force. And Big ol' Ron is going to save that teleport. Going to let Flares deal a decent amount of damage to this turret. Gets it down to about half health. NACS taking a lot of damage himself. Flares will actually be able to get this turret. Flashing forward for the NACS. Arc second taken super low. He will be able to escape, but Flares takes the turret. Inori caught out a little bit here. Flash knock up, but Otter is going to get stunned up for a little bit. Indivisible gets the charm onto himself, and Body Drop saves his team by giving them the heals. Taser coming in on the backside of that fight to make sure Inori does not die, but Tibbers goes down. Indivisible charmed up once again, won't die because saved by the Callista ultimate. But it looks like in this next rotation of minions, this mid-turn, oh my god! Flares comes out of nowhere, takes out Indivisible, and that is going to be the turret. I didn't even see that teleport come in. Big ol' Ron trying to do what he can on that backline. Arc second trying to get in there. Locks up Trashy for a little bit of damage. Locks up Trashy again, but there goes Flares! Holy crap! So much damage down onto Arc second. Enemy gets the kill onto Big ol' Ron. Otter still going strong. Gets the kill onto Callista. 4-for-0 trade overall. But here comes Annie. Inori is still up, but it doesn't matter. That is going to be the turret for enemy and possibly the inhibitor. Really huge fight right there for this enemy team. And geez, it's all thanks to this Flares teleporting on the backside. So much damage coming out of that Hecarim. Gonna spot out that pink ward, take it. Dragon spawns in 10 seconds, so that'll be their second one of the game. TSM Darkness losing their grip on this game really fast. I love the new neutral camp spawns. But I always feel like Dragon is too underwhelming. Its attack speed is too slow and it doesn't deal enough damage. But Inori trying to come in for the steal. He gets it. That's the third Dragon. Indivisible stunning up Inox. Here comes Arc second. Big ol' Ron going to jump onto Otter. But they're going to escape over the backside of the wall. And, you know, the steal coming in for Inori right there. But nothing else after that. They're still 6,000 gold down. 6,500 I should say. And, well, that's just Trashy missing the smite right there. You can't really do anything about that. Except update that timer you have. Last time since you missed smite. No wait, that's ambitious. Ha ha ha. Man, I suck at making jokes. Anyway. Great steal from Inori. Sloppiness on enemy's part to, you know, not secure that dragon. The mid turret will be safe though, but it is still 6 turrets to 2. TSM Darkness really in the hole as far as turrets go. You know, all of that neutral objective money that's still up. Well, not neutral objective, but objective money. I add words where I don't want to sometimes. Hecarim already has the Frozen Heart. He's really tanky, and from what we've seen in the last few fights, he deals a crap ton of damage. He's even doing a lot of damage to Big ol' Ron right now. Big ol' Ron is going to use that Righteous Glory, but it's not going to do much to this Flares, who's just consistently pushing this minion line. Enemy is setting up for this Baron though, while they push that top wave. They do have a lot of vision in this red side of the TSM Darkness jungle. And it looks like it's all theirs right now. There are 2 pink wards, but they're so far back that TSD cannot even see like towards the Baron pit. Inori gonna get spotted out here while he clears out the ward, but nothing gonna come of it because he still has his hop, skip, and jump away. They have Flares rotating back towards the team, but no, it looks like he's going to stick to that bottom lane. Indivisible chunked out pretty low, and well, the Baron is going to get started up, and it looks like TSM Darkness knows. The question is, will they be able to get the steal once again? Annie is still around, has the stun, there's the ward. Teleport might be coming in. Nope, teleport not available for Big Ol' Ron, who is currently trying to clear out super minions. Hecarim starting to come around on the flank from the base, but the rest of the team won't be there. Flare's just zoning them away from the rest of his team. And here comes Big Ol' Ron. A big concave circle. TSD going in onto Arc second right there. Big Ol' Ron gonna get knocked up, caught out a little bit, and Inori killed solo on the backside. Otter just taking him out. And that's going to be the jungler down. Flares still zoning out on that backside. Trying to keep Arc second away because, well, there's the heal for Otter. Inox not going to land the charm, but it doesn't matter because he dodges out the stun. Double kill for Inox. Flares still going hard onto Arc second, but here's Big Ol' Ron to save the day. But there's not much to save considering the base is in shambles and Baron has just gone down for enemy. Just gone down for enemy. Flares is really doing some work for his team this game. Hecarim, super powerful champion right now. So hot right now. Just a really fun pick that I love to see. Inori, still can't really believe that he got 1v1 by Tristan on the backside. She only has 2 items to, well, to be fair, Inori doesn't really have armor. See, this is what I'm talking about, the Jungle Fizz. If the Jungle Fizz can't get going, then he's basically useless. I mean, just looking at the items, it's attack speed on top of a little bit of lifesteal and damage, and then a little bit of, like, half of 2 tank items. That's not much. I mean, he doesn't have enough tankiness to be a tank, and he doesn't have enough damage to be a carry. Otter gonna be able to escape. Not really though. Gonna get taken down. Inori coming in for that kill steal. But Flare's dealing a lot of damage to Taser. Taser is gonna go down eventually. Eventually. Flashes away, still kiting around, but not doing enough damage to Flares. He's gonna go down finally. And 1-for-1 across the map. Both ADCs down. Inori getting the catch onto Inox, but you know, Inox just not taking damage at all. They both flash over the wall to try to catch Inori. Big Ol' Ron a little bit caught out right now himself, but here comes Indivisible, misses the Tibbers onto 3 people, and Big Ol' Ron is just gonna go down. Hecarim still pushing that top wave, and that was just really weird to see Tibbers go down in between all 3 people and not hit a single one. Flare's taking a lot of damage from Arc second, but he will be able to run away easily. He is Hecarim after all. He has the teleport to join the fight, but he is relatively low right now. He should stay top lane to try to push that inhibitor turret. He did bring it relatively low. Right now, Inox dealing damage to Inori. Inori jumping in, dealing negligible damage, and then jumping out. Here's Otter though, and that is surely the inhibitor turret. Cannon Minion doing work on that inhibitor turret, but I can't see the health of it because the stupid cameraman won't show me the health. And it most certainly will go down right here. Indivisible trying to move up, but can't really get a good flank. Flares is in the top lane right now, still has that teleport if need be, but I mean, he's all alone up there. It's 4v5 down here in the bot lane, but that top inhibitor tower is gonna go down. They do rotate away from this bot tower though, but they can't really. The top lane is already down. Inhibitor is falling right now. TSM Darkness need to go in right now, and that's just what they do. 2-man stun down onto Inox and body drop, but there's nothing coming from it. Flares takes the inhibitor for free. And the base is currently in shambles right now for TSM Darkness. This is surely the win for enemy. While Oh, Flair's dodging out that chain. Oh my god. Half health onto that LeBlanc, and you just can't do anything right now. Enemy taking all 3 inhibitors. TSM Darkness, they can't even get these guys out of their own base. Fizz doesn't do enough damage, nor can he tank. Oh, Flares actually went back in time, but the fight will begin. Big ol' Ron tries to go in onto Otter. Otter is going to just kite very safely. Inori hits the fish onto Trashy. Body drop will fall, but here comes Hecarim. Let's see what he does. Annihilates that taser. Goes in on the backside. Indivisible goes down. And, well, Flares, you're just too big. He has the Zephyr. Inox charming up Arc Second. Arc Second gonna be able to barely escape to the fountain. Flares, big ol' Ron. That's the game, surely. Enemy taking this. 33 minutes. I mean, that just... Trashy nearly goes down. The Ignite probably will finish him off. The Nexus is still standing, and Enemy is running away from this. Except Big ol' Ron goes a little too deep. Inori almost taken out right there. Big ol' Ron caught on the wrong side of this wall, and he doesn't even know where the lesser of 2 evils is. Big ol' Ron is gonna go down. Indivisible taking a lot of damage in 1 auto attack, and TSM Darkness have to back out. They're not healthy enough to take this Nexus. A little bit of disrespect, but I mean, I understand. They don't want to die while trying to take the Nexus, but I mean, what would that matter when you have 2 super minions per lane coming in? Dragon gonna go over to Otter right here, and that'll make it Dragon number 3 in favor of Enemy. TSM Darkness just completely annihilated this game. I don't see a way back into this. I mean, just look at it. 2 super minions per lane. Only your Nexus is standing. Body drop is gonna get chased down by Inori. Gonna dodge out the fish, and Inori gonna get really messed up by these super minions. Pushed back, knocked up, and killed by the super minions. It's like what I said earlier. Jungle Fizz either gets like super fed or does nothing at all. And this was the 1 in 9 that he did nothing. Or rather, I should say the 9 in 1 chance that he does nothing. Flair's going in all alone. Gonna get finally taken down, but it doesn't even matter. TSM Darkness gonna lose this game. Super minions on the Nexus. GG. Rek'Sai diving the fountain. And it's over. Good game from Enemy. TSM Darkness down 1 game in this series, but I mean, who really didn't expect that? Sorry to be so blunt, but really, who didn't expect the win from Enemy right here? Really good game. Proud of them. And, well, that's it from me. I'm Scott Scoot. That's Frank Daddy, my Reddit name. Follow me on Twitter. You can see that in the link below. Follow me on Twitch, also in the description. Hit the mute button, so I don't know what I didn't say. But yeah, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, subscribe to my channel if you really like what I'm saying. Give me some constructive feedback, please. And, well, I will see you all another time.